Good morning, students. This morning we are going to look at a new topic, revision on writing. And as we go on with the topic, we are going to see how to develop our paragraphs while we write our essays. While we look at the topic, we'll make sure that at the end of the lesson, you should be able to, one, give a good definition of a paragraph. You see that for you to be able to write an essay properly, your paragraphs have to be developed properly. Two, give a good definition of a topic sentence. Three, give a good definition of subordinate sentences. Along the line, we are going to see that we have topic sentences and subordinate sentences. 4, you should be able to differentiate between a topic sentence and a subordinate sentence, having been able to do what? To define the two terms, topic sentence and subordinate sentences. 5, you will identify qualities of a good paragraph. Remember, we've always done this while we looked at our summary writing passages. When you see paragraphs developed, you should be able to say, okay, this is good, this is what, not so good. 6, you will now have to develop paragraph in a given passage. Our instructional materials are New Concept English for Senior Secondary School Book 1 and the Complete English Course for Secondary Schools by Okamaka Chioma. Now we are going to look at the term paragraphs. What are actually paragraphs? How do you develop your paragraphs? What are these paragraphs? Sentences are ordered in distinct groups called paragraphs. When you have groups of sentences being what? Ordered, being arranged, they are developed into what we call paragraphs. A paragraph is a unit of thoughts in a piece of writing. Look at the expression again. A paragraph is a unit. Unit means what? Single. Which means that for each paragraph, there should be one particular word, idea. You shouldn't lump more than one idea in a paragraph, which comprises a group of sentences that come together to develop one main idea. Have you seen it? A paragraph has what? One main idea and other subordinate ideas. And that is why I told you from the onset that by the end of this topic, you should be able to differentiate between a topic sentence and what? Subordinate sentences. A paragraph is indeed a group of sentences that work together to explore or explain a single topic. Still that same topic sentence, you either call it topic sentence or main word idea. Every paragraph has a main idea and what? Other subordinate ideas that are linked to the main idea. I hope we are together. In writing a new paragraph, it's usually shown by the use of indentation or a line space in the block format. Here we are being taught on how to do what? To identify where paragraphs are or where paragraphs should be. I want you to take a look at this page now. How many paragraphs do we have here? We have 2. This is 1. You see, when you leave a little space from the margin to start to write, this is called what? A paragraph. When you leave like this to start to write, you see that it's what? It's called a paragraph. We also have what we call the what? The block format. The block format is that method that you start here. At the end of this topic, instead of starting on the next line, you leave a line and you still start on the same page. That space in between the first paragraph and the second paragraph tells you that they are introducing what? A new paragraph. That's what we call the block format, or a line space. But this one is the what? The indentation what? Format. You should always use the same method in a piece of writing. If you choose to use the indentation method, stick to it. If you choose to use the line space in the block format, choose to it. Like in my write-ups, I always choose to use what? The indentation what? Method. Why do I choose to use this? Because presently, this is the method WAEC accepts. If there are 5 paragraphs, there are 5 main words, ideas. Have you seen it? If you have 5 paragraphs, then in essence, you're supposed to have what? 5 main ideas. You could have more than maybe 20 subordinate ideas, 5 for what? Each. But for you to have 5 paragraphs, then you are supposed to have what? 5 main ideas, 1 for each. Now, having looked at what paragraphs are, we are going to look at what a topic sentence is. Remember, from the instructional objectives, you are supposed to know the difference between paragraphs, topic sentences, and what? Subordinate sentences. The sentence containing the central idea of the paragraph is called the topic sentence. Have you seen it? That paragraph that contains a central idea is called the what? The topic sentence. The topic sentence is therefore the one in the paragraph that expresses the main idea. So you have seen it that you cannot detach topic sentence from what? From main idea. It may appear in any position in a paragraph, but it is usually best to make the topic sentence the introductory sentence at the beginning of the what? The paragraph. So that from there, you now do what? Link up that main idea or topic sentence to other what? Subordinate ideas. This helps the reader to know at a glance what the paragraph is all about. And that is why most times when I teach you summary writing, I tell you that at the onset of every paragraph, there you will see the what? The main idea. And the questions will always demand for you to bring out in one sentence or in 2 sentences, one for each, what that particular passage is all about. They will always want you to do what? To search out for the topic what? Sentence. This helps the reader to know at a glance what the paragraph is all about. It also helps the reader to know what to include in the paragraph without deviating from the topic of discussion. While writing, remember, we are looking at how to develop our paragraphs, how to develop our topic sentences, how to develop our subordinate what? Sentences. These are important in writing because while writing, remember, these are the points you should consider. Content, which stands for C, organization, which stands for O, E stands for expression, while M stands for what? Mechanical accuracy. You've been taught all these. This is just a reminder. So while writing, you should put into consideration content, organization, your expression, and your mechanical words accuracy, so that you'll be able to do what? To grab all the necessary marks allotted to such words divisions. Then, when the topic sentence is written, every other sentence coming into the paragraph must help to develop the main idea. This is called the subordinate ideas. Have you seen it? Now we've landed into another segment of this topic, which is what? Subordinate ideas. Every idea from the main idea is now linked to the word subordinate ideas, so that your work will be what? Well organized. I want us to see a sample of a paragraph. This is just a paragraph. We have, my sister Ijoma is very intelligent. Ever since she started school, she has always obtained the first position in every subject. In her senior secondary certificate examination, She made an excellent grade A in each of the 9 subjects she sat for. In the university's matriculation examination, she scored 398 and was judged the overall best student in the year 2006. She was therefore given automatic admission to study any course of her choice in any university of her choice. She chose to study law in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Enugu campus. Her results in all the courses she took were superb. She graduated as the best student of the Faculty of Law with a first-class honors degree. A quick look at this paragraph. This is just what? One paragraph. A quick look at it will tell you that what's the main idea here? The main idea is that what? My sister Ijeoma is very what? Intelligent. So if you are given so many features about Ijeoma, maybe here they say that Ijeoma is intelligent. Another paragraph they could choose that Ijeoma is beautiful. Another one they could choose that she's polite. The main ideas there are what? Ijeoma is intelligent, she's beautiful, and she's a polite girl. And looking at these now, everything about this paragraph tells you about her what? Her intelligence, her being the best in class, her getting all subjects with A grades, her being the best in JAMB, getting what? Automatic admission at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and coming out as the best student with a first class, all tells us about the expression what? Intelligent. So from this paragraph now, this is the main idea. This is the topic sentence. While from here down to here are what? Subordinate sentences. So there's no way you can start off this paragraph with just start writing, my sister Ijeoma is ever in school. She did this, that. What is the main idea? You refuse to do it. And that is what? Very wrong. So for you to write this and for it to be well arranged properly, it should start off with what? My sister Ijeoma is a very intelligent girl. Now we have another sample. And I'm going to read through. I want you to differentiate between the previous sample and this one. This is also what? A paragraph. But it amazes her that her parents have never bothered to find out why their daughter comes home with very poor results at the end of every term. You can hardly see her reading any of her books. Our teacher is determined to find out. Do they realize the consequences of her poor performance? Do they care to check her classwork? The class is also curious to know that she scores 0% in any examination is no news to anyone. One wonders whether she sleeps at all night. Her decision now is to report the matter to her parents. Our teacher is often worried about her attitude and, of course, her poor performance in everything we do. Carol Henze is a very lazy student. If you look at this one now, can you actually bring out the topic sentence here? It has an idea. We've seen a student that is very what? Poor in academic work. But if you look at this now, you see that if it comes to organization, this particular paragraph is not well what? Organized. Look at where the topic sentence now came into. Carol Henze is a very lazy student. But this should have done what? It would have been better if it began the words, the paragraph, to now tell us that it amazes her that her parents had never what? Bothered to find out why their daughters come with what? Poor results. It is not enough to have a topic sentence. It must be supported with relevant details, just as we saw in that first paragraph about the intelligent girl. Using sentences that are directly or indirectly related to the main idea expresses the topic words sentence. Any sentence that has no relationship to the main idea should be discarded from the paragraph. And that is why most times when you write your essays, your examiner will tell you that these are what irrelevant what points to that particular paragraph. And when you have lots of irrelevant points, it means that under content, your scores will be what? Reduced. Now we are going to look at what? Qualities of a good paragraph. We've seen what topic sentences are. We've seen what paragraphs are. We've seen what subordinate sentences are. Now we want to see how a good paragraph should look like, in as much as we've seen a sample. But these are the ones that will help you to do what? To write yours to be what? Well organized. A good paragraph must have the following qualities. Number one, unity. What does the expression or the word unity mean? Unity means that what? That's cohesion. That's organization. That's oneness. So the quality of unity demands that every sentence in a paragraph must be relevant to the main idea as contained in the topic sentence. What are we looking at now? Relevance. While writing, don't bring out irrelevant ideas. Ideas that doesn't do what? Count. Ideas that when your examiner reads, they will say out of point. A writer violates the quality of unity if in the course of writing, he or she includes a sentence that is irrelevant to the central idea. I've explained this already. 2, coherence. What does coherence mean? That's what? Organization. I mentioned content, organization, expression, and what? Mechanical accuracy. You can't do without these in any writing, because these are the things that are assessed in any essay that you write. A paragraph is said to be coherent if the sentences in it are logically arranged to achieve the smooth flow of information from beginning to the end. Just like we saw in that first developed paragraph, we saw that what? That coherence. We saw a brilliant girl, how she takes the first position in her class, then she got all A's, was the best in JAMB, finally got automatic admission, finally graduated as the what? As the best student. We saw that cohesion, that organization. The writer didn't start off with, oh, my sister is an intelligent girl. Do you know that she graduated with a first class? Do you know she was the best JAMB student? In the person's SSCE, that particular girl was the what? Best. You see, it's not well organized. Rather, she started from the school, down to the next exam, down to the next exam, down to the next stage of that particular child's what? Academic pursuits. 3, completeness. A good paragraph must be what? Complete. It shouldn't be hanging somewhere. The information contained in the paragraph must be complete so that the reader is not left in doubt about the main topics. When you write, you must carry your words, your reader along, so that the reader wouldn't feel, okay, I've been kept in suspense, and finally that suspense is being hung somewhere. The person should be what? Carried along, and all expressions should be what? Complete. Sentence variation. A good paragraph does not contain only one type of sentence. Remember, you've also been taught types of sentences. We have simple, compound, complex, compound, complex, multiple what? Sentences. So while you write, adopt different types of what? Sentences to make your write-up what? Mature. You are now in SS1. The way you write now should be very different from the way you wrote when you were in JS what? 3 or your JS classes. you develop by the day. So a good paragraph does not contain only one type of sentence. You make some words, varieties. A writer adopts varieties of sentences to make the paragraph an interesting piece of work. I want you to look at a scenario whereby, while writing, you'll always use simple sentences. She is intelligent, full stop. She was the best student in school, full stop. She did this, full stop. Along the line, you see that your essay will be what? Will be uninteresting. It will be a burden to the person that wants to read it. 5, every paragraph has to be what? Error-free. And that is why we look at that last aspect that is being assessed in your essay, mechanical accuracy. Mechanical accuracy entails that you are very careful with your punctuations, you are very careful with your spellings, you are very careful with how you paragraph and how you do what? You do a lot of things while writing. So a good paragraph contains sentences that are grammatically and that are grammatical and acceptable within the language written. A good paragraph contains sentences that are grammatical and acceptable within the language written. You have to be very careful with your tenses. You have to be very careful with your what? Your singular, plural. You have to be very careful with what? Concord and agreement. All these have been taught to you, and that is why they're important. We learn all these things for them to do what? To help us write a well-written words essay. Therefore, in developing your paragraph in any piece of writing, ensure that the sentences you use are error-free. Avoid such expressions like she was to be going. Very wrong. She is to go. So please, this is an example of this point 5. So from what we've seen now, a paragraph should have its main idea, it should have coherence, it should be complete, it should have sentence variations, and it should be what? Error-free. Now you have something to attempt. The letter contains 4 paragraphs, but they have been lumped together as one. We're going to see a letter or an essay written, and by the time you look at that essay, there's no words, there's no indication that we have the indented method or the block method. So now we are going to read carefully and rewrite it, indicating where each paragraph should begin. Now we have this descriptive about my best friend. A look at it now will tell you that we just have, is there any paragraph here? There's no paragraph, it's just run through from beginning to the words to the end. So I want to give you a little time for you to quickly go through this and bring out those places that should form what? Paragraphs. From the question, we are supposed to have 4 paragraphs being developed here, but we don't have any. So I want you to bring out the 4 paragraphs in a few seconds. Okay? Jane and I are friends. We have been friends from primary school. We love to do things together. Though she is in a different class from mine, we always miss each other's company. She loves mathematics while I enjoy reading novels. English language and literature are my favorite subjects. She's tall, slim and beautiful. 19th of March, which fell on a Saturday this year, was her birthday. She had a party, a loud one as a matter of fact. Her parents had the house decorated with different flowers, assorted drinks, sweets, and her amazing cake were placed beautifully on the table. There was enough food and drinks for all to eat and take home. She loves sports. Her favorite sport is volleyball. She loves to play volleyball with the school team. She also has a volleyball court at home. Though a poor player, she dreams of being an international player, representing Nigeria in the Olympics someday. Jane loves me. I have no doubt about it. I am pleased to have her as my best friend. I have always considered myself as the luckiest person in my school to have such a friend who cares for me just as I care for her. Truly, she's a friend indeed. Everything here is about what? Jane. So now we're going to see how to bring out 4 different paragraphs from this particular passage. The first one talks about what? Jane. How they've been friends from primary schools. How they've always been what? In the same class. What she likes. This is the first what? Paragraph. Then along the line, she started describing who? Jane. Her physique, which should start from here. So this one, she is tall, slim, and beautiful. Is trying to do what? Tell us the physical features of Jane. So this one should be what? A new paragraph, and it should start from where? Here. While this Jane starts from here. Have you seen it? So you have, she is tall, slim, beautiful. 19th of March, which fell on a Saturday this year, was her birthday. She had a party and she described what? Everything about her birthday party. Then along the line, she has something else. She wants to describe Jane's what? Likes. And she said she loves sports. This is another point or another description about Jane, which should start a new paragraph. So this one should start from here. She loves sports. Her favorite sport is what? Volleyball. Then she now went on. Then she now said, Jane. This is the end of the description of how Jane loves sports. Then a new paragraph should start here. It should start from here. This Jane loves me should be here. Say, Jane loves me. I have no doubt about it. I am pleased to have her as my best friend. I have always considered myself as the luckiest person in my school to have such a friend who cares for me just as I care for her. Truly, she's a friend indeed. And you see now we have 1, 2, 3, no, 3 and 4, making up what? 4 paragraphs. Then if you now see it, these are where you get the paragraphs. I just brought them out. These are the places where the paragraphs should be developed. Jane and I are friends. Then you have all those subordinate ideas there. She is tall, slim, beautiful. You have other subordinate ideas about birthday and the rest of them. 3, she loves sports. Olympic, volleyball, and the rest of them. Then 4th paragraph is that she loves me, and you in turn do what? Care about her. These are the 4 paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a good way on how to do what? Develop your paragraphs. So I want you to think of topics. You can write on what? Maybe the sports I enjoy most. Develop them in paragraphs. Which sports do you like most? Why do you like the sports? When was that particular sport what invented and who did? And where do you think that particular sport will take you to in the nearest future? So by the time you write an essay like this, you could be having 4 to 5 paragraphs. And I want you to know that when you are writing an essay, you can't have anything less than what? 4 paragraphs. At least it has to have the introductory paragraph, the main other subordinate topics, then what? The concluding. So you should have nothing less than what? 4 paragraphs in an essay. We'll see in our next lesson. Thank you.